self-proclaimed psychic medium John Edward is joining me on Google Hangout. Good morning, John. Thank you for joining me so early, all the way from the States.
Thank you. Thank you for having me. This is my first time doing any type of Google Hangout thingy, so thank you.
Well, I'm happy it was with us. I said in my intro, you're a self-proclaimed psychic medium. What is that?
A psychic is a person who has the ability to connect with a client's energy and talk about what's happening in their life now, things that might have happened in their past, and project on a line of probability their future. A medium is somebody who's a psychic first, who then has the opportunity to take that energy and bring through people who have crossed over, people who are out of the physical world, and bring through messages to validate that they're still connected. So it's like a doctor and a surgeon. Every surgeon has to be a doctor first, but they specialize in surgery. I kind of specialize in dealing with mediumship.
Okay, when did you realize that you could connect with people who had crossed over?
Well, I started doing this work in 1985. I was 15 years old. I had a reading by a psychic, and she told me I had this ability. And when I first started to explore the subject matter, it really didn't deal with the other side. It was mostly what's happening now in a person's life and exploring where they're at and a lot of predictions and projections for their future. And that's kind of where I gained my notoriety in some way, because I was like this wonder kid from Long Island that kind of was able to predict people's future. About 2 years, year and a half into my development, the other side slowly started to make their presence known. And I would say it was 1987 when my uncle died. That was the first time that it really was prevalent. And then my mom passed in 1989, and when she passed, my focus and desire to know more about the other side kind of guided my ability more than anything.
Okay, now this seems, I know a lot of people find it very hard to believe that people can connect with people who have crossed over. Is it something you can turn on and off, or is it always kind of there in the back of your head?
No, it's definitely something you have to be able to kind of power down, and you know, like I'm a cell phone basically. So if you use your cell phone too often, you have to plug it back in and recharge it. You can't constantly be on a cell phone 24/7. You have your standby hours, but at a certain point the battery goes low and you have to replug it in. So, and you can't constantly, you know, talk on that phone because then the battery's really going to go low. So to always be on is not appropriate. Energetically, you have to be able to power down it. And plus, I have a very normal life. Like, it's not like I'm walking around talking to dead people everywhere. There's a time and place for it, and you kind of open yourself up and allow yourself to do it, and then you power yourself down. Like any other position or job that somebody does, there's a time and place for what you're doing in that moment.
I think it's funny that you say you're not walking around talking to dead people everywhere, because a lot of people think that's what you do.
Yeah, you know, TV and movies have a great misconception, and I kind of for 30 years now, 3 decades, have gone out of my way to try to demystify. You know, and then the other thing is that there are people that have, you know, over the years done this work that like to keep that mystique in a certain way, because then they're untouchable. Then they're here, you know, and everybody else is here. And I'm like, no, we're all in the same place. I just have a different perspective, and I have a different way of looking at it. I'm no more special than you. I just have worked at something. And I always equate it to going to the gym. Every one of us has the same muscles in our body. Some of us have a better pre-genetic disposition to bodybuilding. So if, you know, 2 men that went to the gym and ate the exact same way and did the exact same workout over a period of time, you would get 2 different physiques just based on genetics. So, but they still have the same muscles and they still can develop.